Engage in heaven today. Let's get it. Don't be obsessed with money, but live content with what you have, for you always have God's presence. For hasn't He promised you, I will never leave you, never? And I will not loosen my grip on your life. Hebrews 13:5. When Abraham went to sacrifice his son, he really didn't understand what God was doing, but he accepted that whatever God wanted, he could have. Do we live that way today? We will be tested in the exact areas we find hardest to surrender. And if we think we can give God 90% of our room and keep that one closet to ourselves, we're gravely mistaken. God wants everything. It is not about us. God wants to work through you to reach people with His love and change the world for His glory, no matter how insignificant it feels. We need to get over our money, get over our lack of money, and realize that God is our provider. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide," Genesis 22:14. Today, Yahweh still provides for us. God is going to invade your life and show up in powerful ways. What you need to do is to make sure your heart is right and make sure you understand that He is your provider. There is a lot of Christians struggling right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at all. And I struggle just as much as anybody else. But one of the biggest things that I learned as a Christian, throughout the years, is that we need to surrender all to Him. I mean, no matter what He gives you, it still has to be something that you'll be willing to give back to Him at any period of time. Abraham went through this, where he finally received his son that he was promised, and all of a sudden God said, now it's time to be tested. But He didn't tell that to Abraham. He wanted to see where his heart was, and he passed the test, obviously. And so one of the things with us is that God wants us to always keep Him first. Nothing that He gives us should be something that we hold on to so tightly that you're not willing to give it back to the person that gave it to you in the first place. Now, granted, on earth, when we give people presents, we don't ask for those things back. But with God, all of these things are pretty much rented. He gives us these things because He knows that we desire them. But truthfully, these are all rented. And even being on this planet, we're all aliens here because this is not our home. So we need to be quick to be understanding and quick to say, you know what? Whatever the situation is that I'm in, God will provide. Even if He tells me to give all these things up, whatever that may be, you should be okay with it. You should be willing to say, okay, Lord, this belongs to you. You gave it to me. Here you go. Anything that we are holding on to and clenching so much becomes an idol. You're probably putting it before God if you're not willing to give it back to God. And no matter what it is, we should be able and willing to give it back to God. Even in prayer. Because even with our kids, God gives us kids. He allows us to be able to minister, to take care of, and to nurture our kids. But ultimately, they belong to Him. And we need to remember that He's the one that provides. And if we're struggling with whatever, we need to take it back to God and say, God, I know you gave this to me because you trust me with it. Please help me. And He'll provide. He'll provide every single time. He would never leave you nor forsake you. I don't know what your situation looks like, but what I do know is that God is not a liar and God never fails. So whatever your situation is today, trust and know that He will provide if you ask. Now, yes, He knows your desires, He knows your wants, He knows your needs, but He also wants that relationship with you. That's why He desires time in prayer. He desires for you to lay everything down at His feet. So today, whatever it is that is something that you're needing, that you're wanting, that you're having a desire of, just take it to God. And be honest, be bold. Spill all the details. Only tell God. Do not tell people the details. Only tell God the details and watch Him come through. Pray to Him in secret and watch Him bless you openly. Well, I love you guys. I hope this has blessed you. And remember to stay in your word, continue to pray, and walk with Jesus throughout the day. Till the next time.